Expression is the goal of ESL speaking activities, and with Say Anything your students will love expressing their ideas and convincing their partners to agree with them. I'm Will from Enchanted ESL, and in this video I'll explain what Say Anything is, how to play, and how to get the best out of it in your classroom. Say Anything is the name of a popular, light-hearted party game. It's a product you can buy for about $20 to $25, but in lots of parts of the world it's quite difficult to get your hands on it. That's why in this video I'll explain the pen and paper version, which you can also use. This game is not for beginners, and it's not for little kids either. It's best with students aged 10 or older who can string a few sentences together. As for how many can play, the official game says between 3 and 8, although I'd recommend at least 4 for a good game. And if your class is larger than 8, you can split them into groups and play simultaneously, or you can have them play as partners or small teams in one big game. The boxed game comes with mini whiteboards that players use. I like to use one of these dry erase pockets, but anything that you can write on and then erase later is fine. You can play with the coloured tokens like in the official game, but as you'll see in my explanation later, you don't really need these. The final thing you need is a set of prompts. These are questions like what's the worst place to wake up in the morning, or what's the most useful app. The boxed game comes with a deck of cards with loads of prompts on, but you can also get a bunch for free by signing up to the Enchanted ESL monthly newsletter. So head to enchantedesl.com/sign up to get your hands on them now. Alternatively, you can get your students to come up with their own prompts. This is best for more advanced and mature students. Alright, now you've got the basics, let's look at the rules of the game. Players take it in turns to be the questioner. Here, Elena is our questioner. The questioner gets a prompt. Either they draw from the deck in the official game, you give them a prompt from my list, or they invent their own. They say the prompt to the other students. Elena says, "What is the coolest building to live in?" Now the others have to write down a great answer to the question. When they have written down their answer, they put their whiteboard in the middle, face up, so everyone can see it. Dimitri writes, Buckingham Palace. There can be no repeat answers. That means nobody else can put Buckingham Palace. They have to think of something else. Mariam says, Cinderella Castle. Oscar says, the Eiffel Tower. And Sammy says, a lighthouse. Players can change their answers before everyone has finished, but once everyone has put their board in the middle, that's it. No more changing. At this point, students should discuss their answers. It's expression time. People can say the virtues of their own answers or support others. Would Buckingham Palace be a cool place to live? The Eiffel Tower would be uncomfortable, right? Now the questioner considers all the answers and secretly chooses the one they think is best. Elena thinks living in Disneyland would be awesome, so chooses Cinderella Castle. If you're playing the pen and paper version, she should write it on her whiteboard, then place it face down. Now she cannot say which answer she chose or try to influence the others. She should stay silent. That's because before she reveals the answer, the others get to vote on which answer they think she will choose. This is where the tokens come in. In the official game, each player has 2 tokens to vote with, but if you're playing with younger kids, just use 1 to keep it simple. And if you don't have tokens, students can just write their name or initial on the whiteboard they vote for. They should vote for answers they think Elena will choose. They can put both their votes on one answer, or split them between 2. Here, Dimitri has put 1 vote on his own answer and another on Mariam's. Mariam is confident and puts 2 on hers. Oscar isn't happy with his own answer, so puts 1 on Mariam's and 1 on Dimitri's. Sammy puts 1 on his own and 1 on Dimitri's. When all the votes have been cast, the questioner reveals their answer. Now we can score points. First of all, the player whose answer Elena chose gets 1 point, so Mariam has 1. Now each vote on the correct answer gets a point. Dimitri gets 1, Mariam gets another 2, and Oscar gets 1. Sammy gets none. And finally, the questioner gets the number of points equal to the number of votes on the correct answer, up to a maximum of 3. So although there are 4 votes here, Elena only gets 3 points. And that's the end of the round. Now the next player becomes the questioner and gets a different prompt. The rules say there should be 12 rounds, but really you can play as many rounds as you want. Do you think Say Anything would be a great addition to your classroom? If so, hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Much appreciated. There are 2 things I love about this game. The first thing is it doesn't immediately reward the fastest and the smartest students. Those who don't come up with the best ideas can still vote and get loads of points. But secondly, the most important thing is it provokes lots of debate. Discussing the merits of these different places to live really has students developing their English in a practical context. And that's the part of the game you should really emphasize. I like to take part myself to prompt those discussions and support them where necessary. Sometimes students need a little guidance or confidence to get those ideas into English words. And coming up with good prompts is key. The ones in the box might not all be appropriate. The ones on my newsletter are really good, but ideally you want students inventing their own. Or if students aren't quite ready for that, you can come up with some that are customized to the things that students are learning at the moment. So if students are learning about food, you can make lots of prompts around that topic. And if you do get the box game, make sure to remove any confusing or inappropriate prompts. Say Anything is expressive and creative. And if you're searching for another game like that, look no further than Call My Bluff. It's one of my favourites of all time, and you can find out how to play by clicking this video here. But for now, I've been Will from Enchanted ESL, wishing you all the joy and success in your teaching. See ya!